Wow. Grigor Dimitrov puts on the performance of a lifetime to absolutely destroy Carlos Alcaraz in the quarterfinals in Miami, and he's prevented Carlos Alcaraz from completing the Sunshine Double, and he's beaten him now back to back. So let's get stuck into this matchup. It was thoroughly enjoyable for as long as it lasted. It was only about an hour and a half, but the tennis on show from one man in particular, Grigor Dimitrov. I mean, where has this version of Dimitrov been for the God knows how long? And we're finally getting to see the best level of Grigor over I'd say the last 6 months. 6 months to a year, he's suddenly come out of his shell and he started to look like the player that people named Baby Fed. I mean, there were elements of a Roger Federer on court, it seemed, this evening, and the way that he just took apart Carlos Alcaraz, there was nothing Alcaraz could have done to have prevented this result. I thought it was just an impeccable performance. I thought that the way he started the match came out aggressive, really just attacking everything off of the Carlos Alcaraz serve and his own serve. I mean, it was nearly unstoppable. I mean, he looked nearly faultless on his serve, only until he got to the real crunch time, and that was the big thing. Obviously, we got Bastian Fakan here saying one of the greatest wins of Dimitrov's career. Wow, I thought it was a really, really big win. This especially for a confidence level perspective. I think that this was massive. We've got obviously most people across social media, the reaction to this has been the same throughout the match. A lot of people like tweeting throughout, just blown away by the level that Grigor Dimitrov brought to the table against Alcaraz. I've never seen Alcaraz look this disturbed during a match where it wasn't even to do with him playing badly. I feel that the way that Grigor imposed himself onto Alcaraz, that was the telling factor in this match. I mean, credit to Dimitrov, Alcaraz just couldn't get into it. Everything that he tried, he was always on the back foot. He was always getting pushed from side to side. And that single-handed backhand, I know they said that it might be starting to fade away and go outside the top 10 because there's no one in the top 10 with a one-handed backhand. Well, Grigor could be bringing it back again very, very soon. Let me tell you that. If he keeps playing like this, I'm not really sure who's going to stop him. I mean, if he's able to hold his nerve just about like he did at the end of this match to get past Carlos for a second time as well. This is back-to-back wins over Carlos Alcaraz now. And he beat him in Shanghai, and now he's beaten in Miami. Two very, very big tournaments as well. I can't wait to see if Grigor can produce this again at a Grand Slam. I mean, I'm a bit sad that we didn't really get to see this level from him fully in Australia. He went out to Nuno Borges. I was a bit surprised, really, that was where his journey ended at the Australian Open. But in this tournament, I think he's really looked great. I mean, Tabio was a tough match in the first round. I mean, he dropped a set to Tabio. Hanfmann was straight sets. Then he had Hubie Hurkacz. Obviously, we spoke in length about that match on one of the last videos, but that was a ridiculous match that Hubie could well have won, and Hubie really good on these Miami courts. Were there sort of issues with Alcaraz? If I was going to point to one thing that I thought maybe wasn't as strong as his normal performances, I would say the serve was not really going in as often as he would have liked, and the backhand didn't look as solid down the line. The backhand down the line was hitting the net quite a lot of times, but I think it's down to what your opponent and the pressure they put on you. Grigor was forcing him to have to go down the line. He was coming to the net, and Alcaraz looked like he was running out of ideas because of the aggression of Grigor Dimitrov. Let's have a look at a few of the stats from this match as well. And you can see there, equal on aces, but yeah, 77% of first serve points won, and break points saved, 4 out of 5 for Grigor there. Really, really strong. And yeah, this is the big one here. 23 winners from Grigor Dimitrov are coming off both wings, and that's the scary thing when you're playing against him. It's not like you can just put it to the backhand. The amount of times in this match that he just stepped in on an Alcaraz second serve with a backhand or forehand, didn't matter which way, inside out, cross court, didn't matter which way it was going to go. He had that control of the ball just to be able to it's like artistry, just placing it into the corners of the court, just with that beautiful backhand. I really, really enjoyed watching it. I wish it could have gone on a little bit longer, to be honest. We sort of knew that there was going to be a bit of a wobble. They were sort of alluding to it in the commentary as well. And obviously when he got to 4-2, it was a long game, about 7.5 minutes long, where Alcaraz finally did hold. And yeah, and then you saw in the next service game, 4-2 can easily soon become 4-3, and he got broken to love. And Alcaraz just stepped it up a gear. He started hitting really hard. He thought, I can't allow him in a rally because I seem to be losing all the rallies. And then it went to 4-4, and yeah, in the last game, Grigor just composed himself. He did really well to hold his serve to get it to 5-4, and then just went straight back on the offensive on the Alcaraz serve again. There was a lot of worried faces in the Alcaraz box, but I think he just knows when he's met his match, Carlos Alcaraz. He was applauding a lot of the shots from Grigor because I don't know if anyone could have really done anything against him this evening. One of those performances which happily go back and just watch that highlight reel, because there were some outstanding shots that he played. Like he broke serve with just a stretched forehand that just landed just in the corner, went sort of nearly round the post, really, from right outstretched in the corner. Incredible stuff. And I was saying before about him getting close to the top 10. He's at number 11 now in the live rankings, and if he was to win his next matchup, then he would be into the top 10. He would actually be into the top 9, and his next match is against none other than Sasha Zverev. Not an easy matchup, and somebody, I think they reminded him in the post-match interview that he hasn't beaten him in the last 10 matches or something crazy like that. But he's got a big target that he wants to get to, and that is inside the top 10. And if you have a look at this graph here, the last time Grigor was in the top 10, we have to go all the way back to the 28th of October, 2018. Wow. Amazing to see the strides he's made, and the fact that he's managed to, just calm himself down on a tennis court, not getting his own head too much. I think he's done really well in the past 6 months to just play his tennis. You saw how much it really meant to him when he made that final, wasn't able to win the final. I can't remember which tournament. Was it in Paris where that happened? It was just at the back end of last year. It was... Excuse me. I will just go back and just have a quick check. We can have a look while I go back. And it was... Yes, there you go. Yeah, it was. It was against Djokovic in Paris. I remember the tears on the court. I think that was a very big moment for him. He hadn't made a final in a very, very long time. And now we're seeing him in a lot more winning ways. Look at all the green on his record since then. And, well, he won that tournament in Brisbane to sort of kickstart this year as well. and hasn't really looked back. Only lost to the likes of, well, we said earlier, Borges, Humbert, Diminor, Medvedev, and yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a pretty good list. There's some good informed players, and it makes them look even better now, considering how well Grigor's playing. I'm just hoping he gets better and better. Let me know in the comments section what you thought of the match as well. And make sure, if you haven't done so, hit a like on this video. Come on, we really need the likes, and I want to hear your comments. I will go through all of them. I will reply to as many as possible. And I will try to bring you a few more of these post-match reactions, because I was sitting there watching it. I just thought, this is unbelievable. I've got to talk about it. It did give me Federer vibes. They did speak to him after the match. He said, I think overall, in order to beat Carlos, you have to play at your best. That's just how it is. I came into the match very focused and extremely clear on what I had to do. Sometimes simplicity is genius. It's very hard to do it, especially against an opponent like that. But I was able to really dictate and read the game better than I did last time. Overall, a very great match on my hand. I'm just happy I finished in straight sets for once. Yeah, exactly. Especially after that Hubie Hurkacz 3-set thriller. He gets a little bit more respite ahead of his semi-final, who we already alluded to. It is Sasha Zverev, and I will just have a quick look to find out the head-to-head between these two, because I'm sure everybody will be interested. And it is 7-1 in favour of Sasha Zverev. And let me just have a look at the last matches that they have played against each other. Right, so they played last in September of 2023, and that was in Chengdu in China. Yeah, and by the looks of it, well, yeah, it's the last 7 he's lost. The only time he had ever beaten Zverev was the first time they played in 2014. How about that? But this is a different Grigor now. He's the new improved. But that's just a quick post-match reaction to Grigor Dimitrov defeating Carlos Alcaraz here at the Miami Open. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section. Smash a like, subscribe, and join us for more tennis action coming up all over this weekend.